Do you want to clap? Ready? 1.
Sorry. I had to clap. I just waited for it.
1, 2.
Sorry. Am I supposed to clap together?
Hang on. 3, 2, 1. So you were up till 5 watching some...
Yeah, watching Netflix because I managed to figure out how I could make it into an American version. So there's shed loads more juicy films to watch. That sounds bad, but no, like more. Which is weird though because there's more English stuff available on there than there is on the UK version. Like
Really?
Yeah, like Keeping Up Appearances is available on that.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought it was like it was there. It was like in comedy, and I thought Keeping Up Appearances on it. Like, where's the market for any American to watch Keeping Up Appearances?
Well, especially with their accents from state to state. You know, I mean, what is the difference between Mrs. Bucket or Mrs. Bouquet? Who knows?
Yeah, I think the subtle humour and the genius writing will be lost on many good-sensed Americans.
You think so?
Yeah, maybe
they might not be able to get the class subtleties of Keeping Up Appearances.
The old-fashioned humour. They probably think it's a reality show, to be honest. But
well, isn't it?
No. Apparently, it's all scripted.
What? I can't believe it.
Well, that wasn't even a real old woman. It was a 22-year-old man.
A 22-year-old man.
22-year-old black man.
My word! I tell you what, CGI
Yeah.
back then
was
far
good.
better than it is today.
Yeah.
They've really taken steps back.
They reckon it was like Jurassic Park that brought together the whole CGI, but it's actually Keeping Up Appearances and Waiting for God and Close to Home and all that crap that used to be on. Every actor in that thing was CGI'd.
So let me get this straight. You're sitting there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm picturing the scene. You've just worked out how to get American TV programs on your television. Yeah. You're sitting there. You're wearing your New York Rangers hockey top.
Yeah.
You're waving the American flag. You're eating hot dogs.
Yeah.
Nachos with lots of cheese.
Oh, absolutely.
Watching Keeping Up Appearances.
Yep, and the thing because we figured out how to do it, but before you can watch a film, you have to do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes, then that's how they get you
Yeah,
every time.
and a gun appeared in my hand and everything,
Oh my word!
and a Bill of Rights. It was
Yep.
brilliant. I was waving a flag. I was, say those nachos were nice.
Talking to an empty chair. Yeah.
Yeah, talking to an empty chair, watching Keeping Up Appearances, with a tear in my eye, going, "This is living."
And that's that's the price. What a small price to pay.
Yeah.
For that kind of retro enjoyment.
Oh yeah. I'm sure there'll be many treasures to be found because that's what pretty much we're spending this weekend doing, next to nothing, which is nice. So we're watching. We watched an interesting documentary about the Amityville horror over breakfast, which is a little bit strange.
As you do.
Yeah.
Well.
Just because we have all that content now, and it's like, we can just watch anything. So I spent last night watching wrestling documentaries till 5 o'clock in the morning.
I did see that. Yes.
Did they pop up? Oh God.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
No,
that's fine.
I have no shame there, to be honest. But
and this is well documented. Daz has almost encyclopedic knowledge.
Yeah.
Of WWF. What's happening there?
What's that?
What is that?
What's that?
What is that? It sounds like you're sanding down your laptop.
Oh, I was just moving up my lap.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
Just getting a bit closer.
I like to think it's a wood effect finish.
Oh, yeah. I was carving a canoe as well. I'm actually talking from the wood shop. You'll see when you come over.
So.
It's brilliant.
I thought so. Yeah, it sounds. It's got a good acoustic.
I make flutes and everything.
What were we talking? Oh, yeah, wrestling.
Yeah,
wrestling. Yeah. So Daz has an encyclopedic knowledge of wrestling. He can even. I have seen him in front of many groups of people, sober as well.
Yeah.
Pulling off the classic Hulk Hogan swing your hand round and then put it up to your ear. You know that one?
Yeah.
You know that move? That's a good wrestling move. And there's the other one where you walk out with a plank of wood.
Oh, yes. Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
That's a good special move.
Oh.
Look at me, I'm holding wood.
Yeah.
He's got wood. Yeah, but myself, all I know is Rowdy Roddy Piper was in the best film ever made.
They Live?
No. What is that?
Hell Comes to Frogtown?
No. No. Tough and Deadly.
Tough and Deadly. Wow.
I can't remember which one he played. He was either Mr. Tough or Mr. Deadly. But it was fantastically low budget.
Oh, I have to find that now.
Yeah,
I love a bit of Piper.
Well, you've got Netflix now. So
I'm sure it's on there. If
it must be.
Two-headed shark attacks on there, and Crocosaurus.
It's so low budget to a point where even the guns, which are clearly rubber, that they're wobbling as they're holding them.
Brilliant.
Like jellies, like gun jelly.
Gun jelly.
Yeah, it's wonderful, and the acting is very subpar, and it is just it's a laugh a minute. It really is.
A lot of people looking at the camera when they shouldn't be.
Yeah, clearly reading something behind the camera.
Isn't it I was reading about the worst film, especially one of the worst films ever made, and it gets screened so people can mock it, called The Room. If you get a chance, look at that on Wikipedia. The Room? Yeah, apparently it's supposed to be this kind of dark drama, but it sort of misses on every level. Like, it's so inconsistent, it looks like Garth Marenghi,
excellent.
Garth Marenghi is made for like a piss take, but this one is made for serious. Yeah. But characters will change mood mid-sentence, so they'll be angry and laughing. And one of the scenes where a character's really angry and he's starting to kill someone, and he just there's a little cut and he starts laughing. And apparently it was so badly edited that characters just kept, like, facial expressions kept changing within a few seconds.
That definitely sounds like the kind of thing I would enjoy. Frankly, I don't see why there isn't more work like that out there at the moment. Stuff that just plain doesn't make sense.
Oh yeah.
This is a discussion I've had many times before. And you're of a certain age, sir. I'm not saying. Well,
old.
Don't sit on any cold steps.
Oh right. Well,
that's just wise advice at any age.
Once you've had piles, you don't want to go back there.
Yeah. They're like Pringles that way. Yeah. Except the opposite.
Yeah, piles do run in my family as well. Piles, bad knees, and big noses, which I might call my autobiography. Piles, bad knees, and big noses. The Chris Bate story.
I thought you said knees for a second there. I thought you said piles, bad news, and big noses.
Oh yeah.
Bad news runs in your family.
Bad News Brown. Back to wrestling there. There you go.
Yeah, you want to watch out for Bate. He's bad news.
He's bad news.
Let me tell you.
Bad
or he's got some bad news. No, I like it. I'd really enjoy just seeing a film where literally things just turn. Just on a flip of a coin. But you're of an age where you will remember the films that didn't actually ever have, a plot. They just had the big name star, the fading big name star, a muscle car, and that really, really thin on the ground plot. All you need is like the local sheriff throwing his hat on the ground as he gets to the county border,
saying "Dag nabbit."
Yeah, shaking his fist.
God damn son of a.
Some bitch.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Oh, good morning, nice lady.
Two mustachioed men laughing.
Are you talking about anything specific?
Not really, no. There's just loads.
Where is this film?
It sounds like Smokey and the Bandit, which is another good example.
Because I never saw that. I only saw the reference to it in one of the Bond films, and I didn't get I kind of thought the sheriff in that was from James Bond, but I had to explain to me when I was a kid. No, there was a film or two films with this character. I think he was playing either the same sheriff or a version. Do you remember? It's the one where he does that weird jump.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So
where he does it's the corkscrew jump. In the car. But I think there's a certain market for that kind of film. Even today, I think all you need is just just one main mustachioed star, a muscle car, Which, frankly, I mean, I know we didn't start this call looking to go into a film project together, Chris, but I've got a Nissan Note, as you know.
Have you?
I mean, it's a diesel. I mean, it's very. I mean, if you're talking muscle cars, let me tell you,
it's a muscly car.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So there's one of the things there already. All we need now is a guy with a moustache who's vaguely famous. I'm thinking more famous than the Go Compare moustache.
Okay.
Less famous than Tom Selleck.
Yeah, I can't grow a moustache, so I'm out.
Really?
I'm not rugged enough, anyway.
What do you mean?
I can't grow a moustache.
Yeah.
No.
Have you ever really tried? I mean, really tried?
I've tried to push it out, but it doesn't work. It doesn't grow that way, apparently.
Did you just inflate your face when you did that?
Yeah, I did.
Because that's how moustaches work.
I tried to colour, those hundreds and thousands. I tried to get those, put them in black paint, or colour them in, and then stick them to my top lip to make so I had like a little makeshift moustache. But that didn't work either.
Oh, a little bit of treacle on the top lip.
A little bit of treacle, yeah.
Get a handful of those bad boys, just chuck them on there.
Chuck them on. Or,
straight on.
Just draw it on yourself. Or a little bit of black tape, like Groucho Marx.
What's wrong with that? I once starred in a production of some kind of sort of Christmas play when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I don't know how this worked into the plot line, but I was a chef.
Yeah.
Somehow. Obviously, you take your typical kind of nativity scene. You got the three wise men. You got you got your shepherds. You got the baby Jesus. And you got Joseph and Mary and the angels and the chef. And I think there was an apple involved somehow. I don't understand it. But I had a drawn-on moustache, and I had an allergic reaction to it. Ooh. So I actually had like a spot moustache.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was a big curly one, so it wasn't even like a subtle little Hitler toothbrush moustache, which would have been funnier at least. Would have broken the ice a little bit. Wait a minute, this guy's Hitler. Oh no, he's just a chef with a Hitler moustache. Oh.
Did you like taking part in school plays and stuff?
Not really. No. I didn't particularly enjoy it. I once did a run of the performance of the musical Grease.
Oh, right.
Where I played the one guitarist who was competent enough to play guitar in the band.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I just sat with the band, and then my job was play all the guitar parts, even though it was written for like 3 guitars. Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
And then my other job was when they pushed out Greased Lightning.
Yeah.
Which I think we've spoken about this before. I went to a government funded state school.
Yeah.
Greased Lightning. Yeah, half a mini on coasters. And I think it would have been cheaper just to buy a second-hand mini. I don't know how they found that, or they just walked out of school one day, chopped the car in half, and brought the front half in.
At least you had some budget. I mean, it could have been just a bit of cardboard in front of some old seats, like we used to have to do at school.
Just pretending you're in a car, because that's acting class, isn't it?
Yeah, when you just kind of go one way, and there's always someone going the wrong way when they're turning. If you know what I mean?
Don't know. Yeah, no, I do know what you mean. I would actively always be that guy as well.
If we were doing a play.
Yeah, absolutely. Which again, I'll just make a quick note of that. We should put that in our film. Cuts where we are actually sitting in a car and then not sitting in a car. We're clearly in some kind of
no-budget film ever.
We're like the YMCA's kind of yoga studio, just on some stools, having the same conversation. Clearly not in a car, and it cuts back to the car.
Yeah, and the muscle car is just row seats with a jar of seafood right in the front seat, and then they go, "Oh, it's a muscle car," and then someone clangs a gong,
That's
and then scene over, cut.
Well, not even
divorce.
Just somebody. You get a close up of someone crying.
Yeah. Not
even somebody that's in the scene, just anybody. And then it cuts back to the same conversation. We're actually in the car now with the muscles in the jar. We're driving along, and it just cuts to me picking my nose. I'm not even in the film. It just, that's my cameo.
Yeah.
Just picking my nose for a split second, and it cuts back to people sitting in the same yoga studio, but with a twist. They're on the floor.
There's a clown right in the background. I always think always put a clown, if you're going to go, like, you don't know where to go with it. These sort of, if you want to go arty, black and white, clown flipping a pancake. There you go. Or waiting for a bus.
Yeah.
You can see why I don't get many films made, can't you?
Well, no, I
Whack a clown on a roller coaster. Give him some childhood problems.
a clown on a roller coaster not looking impressed.
Yeah.
A crying child and a clown with a balloon, and the balloon floats away. A clown witnessing a harrowing robbery of a bank where people are dying from bullet wounds, and he's just standing there not helping.
That's the thing. When I was doing plays at school, we had to do like we did Grease and Rocky Horror, which was really strange to do. Even though we couldn't say transvestite, I don't know why.
You weren't allowed to say transvestite?
No, but we were all dressed as women. Well, I wasn't. I didn't get a chance to do that one. But I was very much interested in doing it because I like Rocky Horror.
I can see how much that bothered, even to this day. Oh, I didn't get to do that.
Well, I don't think it helped that I'd finished school like 3 years before. I just kept turning up in suspenders. So the police turned up. So the hot cops.
Is it time for me to go on stage? When's the curtain call?
Yeah.
I'm ready. I've got my bra.
Look at me. We used to do a lot of our own plays, and that was always dangerous ground because I like assemblies.
Yeah.
Like you do, they get a priest to talk about stuff. We always just get a priest talking about. He's always banging on about something. There's a lot of Ouija board action going on one time. Don't do this. Christ, all smash.
Listen to your parents. Salvation.
And you have the the usual messages and stuff like that. But then you get a chance to do a play, and I wasn't very confident, but I kind of liked that danger, particularly if you're doing your own thing, because you can do whatever you want. And I once did an assembly play about the last few minutes of people on a crashing plane, and it was like,
I like it.
There you go. Have a good weekend. Yeah. And it was like it wasn't even. I was trying to do it purely for fun.
Was it like a 20-minute monologue about life and someone's feelings, and then just the camera, but it's not a camera, it's a stage at school, so the curtains draw out slowly, and he's actually on a plane and it's crashing, and then it's just end scene.
I can't remember what happened. I know it just sort of this woman wasn't crashing very well, and I was kind of like this omnipresent thing talking about stuff. Christ knows what the play was about, but this girl, everyone crashed out of the seat apart from this girl, so I just tipped the seat up. Just tipping the seat up. I went sort of Kubrick on her ass. Do you know what I mean? Or Fred Kinney. I mean, I was going to fire a gun.
That's good though. Good though. That's mixing it up a little bit. That's improv. So they've got the audience in that sense have got a little taste of everything. Yeah. They're not going to be saved God-wise because there's no priest. If there is a priest, he's going to die on a plane. Yeah. Which is that's disturbing in itself. You've got improv because that girl didn't know she was crashing. Oh, I'm crashing, and you're like, no, now you're crashing. You flip the seat, everybody claps. Fantastic.
Yeah, not a dry eye in the house. But yeah, it's a lot of weird religious stuff we used to do when we were kids because I think we're surrounded by it. So I always used to play with it. Like another one we had to do for assembly was when I was playing a very, very camp god, and there was like a really stereotypical, almost offensive gay voice. Because I was fine with that. Like my dad was forward thinking. So we watched Rocky Horror when I was 8.
And he hated assemblies.
Yeah, so he was like, you know what, Steve, stick it to him a little bit. So we did this thing, and it was just about what God would do if he was back. And he was I had a sort of like a feather boa around me because I'd found it in props. And I don't know. I mean, like I said, I wasn't very confident, but I liked being ridiculous, like having that. I don't know what I'm talking about because we used to make it up half the time.
Yeah. Well, again, it's bringing a bit of the artist's process to the stage, and that's not what they expected. You're subverting the experience of assembly.
Yeah, but
by making it up.
It's like in drama, because I did drama. I'm not a very good actor, to be honest. But unless I was doing a funny voice or I was playing someone completely different, then I had no. We did a lot of issues plays, and I didn't have any interest because I had no input. I like doing funny stuff. They wanted to do. We did a play. Sorry if I'm rambling.
No. This is gold. This is top stuff.
We did a play, right, based on the song by Phil Collins, "Another Day in Paradise," and that's what they called it. And I thought it was absolutely abysmal.
Hang on a minute. Don't tell me it was a rom-com.
Oh no, it was about homelessness. It was we took. They took it. I didn't like it. I hated it because it was really cheesy. So the song's on about a tramp, I think, and they were basically taking the lyrics, and we listened to the song God knows how many times, in one lesson to boil this play down.
I mean, do you know, and all the difference is that rather than having armed US guards and you being in Cuba, yeah, all the difference is that, you know, you've got a teacher and you're in the Midlands. I mean, it's basically torture.
Yeah, I mean, like,
that's what it is.
It's just Phil Collins as well, though. I mean, just Jesus Christ. I mean, but I mean, I had that. I was getting that at home, like Phil Collins, and now I have to have it at school.
You'd get home from school.
And there'd be
close
Phil
the
Collins.
Door. There's Phil.
Yeah.
How's your day at school, Chris? Come and listen to this new song about another day in paradise.
Let's put Buster on. No, let's not put Buster on. But yeah, so we did this play, Another Day in Paradise, and I had to play a homeless boy shivering. But I could never do it too seriously, so my accent kept slipping and changing. But at the end of the play, that we had to do it in front of other classes, a girl went, "It's okay for you and me, but it's just another day in paradise." And I was playing the boy that like died of hypothermia or whatever, and I just burst out laughing. And because I realised I'd been caught laughing, I did a sort of break dancey thing and got back on my feet, back on my feet, jazz hand, and just went off stage. I used to get into so much, and I wasn't a naughty kid or anything. I wasn't like I didn't like pissing teachers off because I thought, well, they're just doing a job. Yeah. You know what I mean? I just want to see my friends and go home and read comics. I'm fine. But I loved drama and I loved writing stuff, but I hated. It was all girls as well, and they all wanted to do things about drugs, pregnancy.
Do you know you're so right, Chris. I mean, and this is the thing. There's two parts to that story. Yeah. One, you could have sat up at the end and said, "No time for love, Dr. Jones,"
I wish I'd done that.
and been done with it. And B, you could have, you've done the smart move there, my friend. You've done something that A, could potentially pique your interest, but really you've done it because you'd be surrounded by women.
Yeah. A lot of them didn't like me, though, to be fair.
And that's how you find out, isn't it?
And
that's
I
how
thought, I'll be the sexy one that they underestimate, but it's really good acting and stuff. But unfortunately, no, I didn't turn up for a lot of the stuff because I didn't bunk off. But if I thought the play wasn't very good and I had a lead role in it, I just wouldn't. And that was pretty bad, to be fair. But they just kept doing consistent issues plays and stuff like that. And they did one about this. They were totally unequipped to do this, and it was wrong about. The Holocaust.
Was it? I was going to say, was it Schindler's List?
It was because they'd seen Schindler's List and they thought, well, we'll do this now, and that's an issue.
Everybody loves a good Holocaust tale.
And I was like, it was after this Another Day in Paradise. So I said, I don't want to do this anymore. Can I just do props? So they arranged a bunch of tables like rubble, and they said, well, can you be a German soldier? And in one scene, this girl called Cheryl. She was in it. And she had to get from one bit to the other. I think they'd seen a bunch of films and mashed it all together. And they said, you're a German soldier, you're marching up and down. And I kept doing the Ministry of Silly Walks. They told me to stop that.
I was just about to say, I'm sitting here waiting for the jazz hands.
I was doing the Basil Fawlty orders, which, But yeah, so they said, well, when you see them, say basically halt, blah, blah, blah. It's completely up to you. But you've just got to, basically... hold them. So they appeared out of this thing. I saw them. I was marching. I stopped, and I couldn't think what to say. And it was it was in front of people because they basically did it for a little bit and then just went go. So they get all the drama people coming in and taking much more seriously than me. And I couldn't think of anything to say. I saw these Jewish refugees, and as quick as a flash,
who actually weren't part of the school either. They were just there observing for the
day. And then I found the kid.
And you're like, this is really fucking awkward for you and for me.
Well, they've just, got, well, that was our school, so it was possible. It was, the gate didn't lock properly, so anyone could get in, So I had to say something, and I kind of panicked because I realised I didn't know what to say. But halt was too short, stop was also, I couldn't say halt and stop. And I remember panicking, and when time slows down, and I went, I had to shoot them. So I was I'm just trying to remember. I had to shoot one of them, which I thought was actually pretty cool. And as I had to say,
so you're saying stop,
but then I shot them.
Did you shoot them first and then say stop?
Well, that was the thing. I was also confused about that as well. It's just so much fun. It was such a little part, and so I thought I'll give it a bit of pizzazz, right? So I went to shoot them. Instead of saying halt, I went, "Die, you Jew, you." And like loads of people burst out laughing, and I wasn't trying to be funny. I just completely panicked. But I think it's because I said "you" at the end. I just wrapped it up like really. Die you Jew you, and people still say that to me. Like sometimes when they'll see me, which is weird if I'm with any Jewish friends. They remember for two things like that and doing a rap in assembly because I did a rap as well called Time Machine.
Oh, you did a rap,
but in a sort of Beastie Boys voice as well.
With an accent.
Oh yeah, I did pretty much ad rock.
Fantastic.
And it was I I used to get quite a lot of shit for that. But because it was a disaster. But yeah, I can't remember if I got to talk about this, but I used to love all that stuff, but hated it at the time. Now I think at least I was representing myself into a fairly consistent level that I've sort of maintained as an adult. Because I do still do pretty much the same things as I did then. The mindset hasn't changed that much, which is probably for a good or bad thing, really. But yeah, it's like I suppose it stopped my acting career. That had to end with Die You.
I don't know. Well, you. Oh, bang. I don't know that it has stopped your acting career, Chris. I mean, again, throughout all of you were telling me just, and I've been making some extensive notes.
Yeah.
And I think this is the kind of thing you could apply to our upcoming film project that we've just started.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll give it a whirl if the money's right.
Well, it's not about money, Chris. It's not about money. Obviously, there will be some money, and that's the kind of thing.
Well, pay me in Skittles.
I'll be enjoying that, but it's not about the money, really.
No,
it's not
about the art.
There's going to be no money for you, so. But don't worry about it. It's going to be. It's for the project. It's for the project of it.
I was once in a horror film. I got paid in coffee, so that was pretty good.
Really?
Yeah,
coffee.
You'll never see it because it's a terrible. I don't think it ever got properly released. But my friend played a killer clown, and I was one of his victims, and that was kind of a throwback. That was only a couple of years ago, but I pretty much that kid, Die kid, he didn't go away, and I completely unsold a stabbing. So I think they still used it anyway. I get stabbed in the head,
really?
And I burst out laughing, but they couldn't cut it. So. But I tell you,
see, that's the last thing you'd expect. Again, I think you got the people in the car. There's no car. It's just chairs. Then it goes back to a car. Then it goes back to the same room as before, but no chairs. They're all on the floor with a clown behind them. I think again, there's a close up. It's probably just a picture of a nipple. My nipple. That's fine. That's fine. I'll take points on the back end for the nipple.
Nipple cameo.
Yeah, and then just fast forward. Literally, we have some stuff on VHS that we fast forward. It stops and plays. And then all of a sudden, you've got some kind of horrific murder with the victim either A, laughing, or B, dying, then laughing.
I like that. Dying, then laughing.
and everybody else is very serious, and then they all die as well, which is the last thing you expect. They just fall down dead. I think this is great. I mean, this is...
It's up.
It's not what you'd expect, is it? Okay, so I've written all that down. That's the main thing.
That's what we need.
I on a similar theme actually. I had I told you earlier that my legs fell off.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you about your legs.
Yeah, I'm still running. It's from the police.
They found the files.
That's it. The government. Whatever. We can't really talk about. No, it's fine. No, I'm running to get healthy. Because I'm an idiot. Okay. And I got back. I always have. We spoke previously about my my playlist, you know. So I start with a bit of a Spoonful Weighs a Ton by the Flaming Lips, and again,
cool.
It dawned on me today that that's kind of the what's the word I'm looking for? It summarises very well what I'm doing to myself. It starts off, you got the track quite well, Chris. You got all the plinky plonky, you got the strings and the various bits, and then you got Wayne's vocals coming in.
And though they were sad, they rescued everyone.
But yeah, give it fucking 15 minutes later, you just see me rounding the corner into my close, looking like I've just, committed a robbery, because I'm not dressed like a runner. I'm wearing Converse shorts and a band t-shirt, sweating profusely. broken and wrong, listening to No Effects at full fucking pelt, which isn't the same as when I left, all full of optimism. I come back with this broken husk of a thing. And I threw myself in the shower, which I quite enjoy. And then on any day, actually, I'll shower any day, just for poops, you know. Just for
it's not even your birthday; you just shower.
Not even on my birthday, Chris. Some days I've already had a shower, and I go straight back in. And I'm sitting down. I've got the TV on in the background, and you know that kind of thing. We got really wet hands, and you don't want to touch any electronic equipment of any description. Yeah. So I can't. My iPhone's there. I can't do anything with that. I've got the TV on, and then that show comes on. I don't know what it's called, but it's the one with, they're at a school and everybody's really, really rich, or at least they appear that way. And you got the kid in the wheelchair, and you got the he's supposedly dating someone who never appears. She's she's probably a ghost, and they all meet up to bitch about things, but then they all burst into song. It's an American show.
Oh, it was Grange Hill. Like a Grove too.
And sorry, I didn't mention, and Todd Carthy's in it as well. So yes.
Oh, is it? Mark.
Yeah. He was a greengrocer, wasn't he? Wasn't he a greengrocer?
So, yes.
Yes.
All I remember is the sausage at the start. Who threw that sausage and why?
That's it. Well, I don't understand why there was ever a sausage on that. Because if you really want to cause someone some harm, just chuck a fork.
Why
waste of a sausage?
The sausage on the fork? Why were they throwing? What is he giving it some extra purchase? You know what I mean? Like to throw because it was a classic banger sausage as well, wasn't it? It was hitting someone. It was going at pretty full speed, and I used to think that was when I was a kid. I thought that was a story arc that was going to be resolved. I thought because I assumed every credit sequence was going to be in the show, like Round the Twist used to.
Yes,
you
that's
composed
right.
of most clips. So I thought Grange Hill was the same. So I thought, okay, I know they're not going to be in a comic book, but who's going to throw that sausage?
No, that's it.
I
always like to imagine that. What was his name? Samo? Was it Samo? Would jump up and eat it. Zamo. Yeah.
I can't. It used to Fat Kid, wasn't it? Is that right to say? Sorry. Yeah. Didn't they do a song or something?
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
Yeah.
They did a single, and he was gyrating, and everybody laughed and clapped.
Yeah.
And I always thought that's quite,
Yeah. Don't encourage him.
Don't.
He's got a disease.
And I'm sitting there, I'm watching it on TV, Chris, and I can't press the remote control because my hands are all wet from the shower. I can't get it off the screen.
So you were stuck with Glee.
It could well be, yes. It was just a lot of people bitching and moaning, and then they just kept on bursting into fucking terrible, terrible songs. None of which were The Flaming Lips or Modest Mouse or Belle and Sebastian or anything I like. Basically.
And that is why they fail at life.
I can understand. It looked, in terms of production value, it looked fucking fantastic. Everybody in there is good looking. All of the teachers are pals with the kids.
Yeah, which is dangerous territory, to be fair.
You know what? And this is kind of my point, Chris. That is so far removed from any of our experiences of going to a school and being in the performing arts departments. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. You think, I'll tell you what, I'm going to sign up for drama. Yeah. Oh, going to be loads of ladies there. I might get me one of them girlfriends. Yeah. Yeah. Never happens, Chris. Let me tell you, it's a myth.
It is a myth, and that's something I've had to live with for almost 34 years. Since I left school. I'm joking. Yeah. I'm not that old.
Since you left school, yeah, exactly.
I was just an older bloke going to school.
Since you left school, after the 3 years you kept on attending school as a transvestite.
As Frankenfurter. So you just kept outside the school gate going, "Oh, Rocky, please sir, go away."
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
I try my best.
I never had any of that kind of real kind of pally encouragement from any of the arts department's teachers at all. I mean, again, I'll refer you back to the production of Grease with the Mini being pushed out, and they went all out on finding half a Mini, or nicking half a Mini, as probably the case was. And they got some fog machines, which was probably a couple of people smoking cigarettes by the, whatever.
English department.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. Whilst they're wearing, tweed.
Yeah.
And reading Chaucer and just shaking their heads going, Americans. And as I mentioned, my job was playing all the guitar parts, but I had a secondary role, and that was as soon as this car got pushed out, I would activate the audio special effects for the car.
Okay.
Now, in the music department, things were a little limited. This is obviously in the 90s as well. So if you want a car special effect, Chris, what CD do you naturally go for? You know, your hand naturally gravitates. You know, you got your CD rack there. What's big in the 90s? You know. For realistic effect, you imagine you got Grease Lightning. It's half a mini on coasters, visibly being pushed from the back to the front of a stage. What natural effect goes with it? Well, I'll tell you, Chris. I'll tell you. It's JK's Ferrari off of that one Jamiroquai album that was really, really popular.
Oh, right.
In 1997,
yeah.
96. So you've got people pushing this thing out whilst you've got... like slowly pushing on coasters. And everybody every fucking night would look at me like I was ruining everything. And I was, but it wasn't my decision. I didn't want to be there, for one. For two, it was the most entertaining thing. It's disappointing a hall full of people. And it is, when you're the only person that's in on the joke, because you know what's coming next. So if you're laughing already, and there's a bit where they're like, oh, what car is it?
This car could be systematic, hydromatic, ultramatic. Why could be green?
And I'd also be in charge of the volume, which of course as you know, Chris, I'm deaf as a fucking post anyway, and I certainly was back then. So yeah, maximum volume, of course.
Nice.
So anybody near the band, which was typically a larger seating area, it makes it sound like the Albert Hall, but again, I say seating area, this is just where they laid out the seats, the plastic little shitty seats. It was normally people who had difficulty walking, the elderly, the infirm, the lame, and you know, and so forth. So yeah, they're just getting an earful of fucking Ferrari sound effect with me pissing my pants, actually attracting away from the half a mini being pushed out on coasters.
Nice.
Not once did anybody from the music department, you know, teacher-wise, say, "Good job, mate," and then give me a fist bump, like I saw earlier when I couldn't touch the remote control because of the
show. Yeah, it doesn't happen, does it? You don't get the encouragement.
Hey, yeah, that's a good point. What kind of pranks did you get up to at school?
I was kind of I'm trying to think actually. I know I used to, because I used to love the kind of humour that the friends I'm with now. I'm still friends with. So back then the humour hasn't changed. So it was always kind of like really subtle stuff that the idea wasn't to make us popular or get us in trouble. It was just like something to just amuse purely us or even ourselves. Yeah. So I would do like certain teachers were susceptible to certain noises. I found out after a lot of research. So
like bats.
Yeah. So I do sniffing. I do like stuff like sniff. It's really annoying now. Actually, it was quite annoying. Or if a certain English teacher, tweed jacket, all that sort of stuff, used to say anything remotely sexual, I used to say dirty, like really quiet, and then just build it up and get like, and things like that, just like really kind of lame things. And then we'd go to extremes, like we had this little wind-up penis thing, this little tiny thing, and just put it in our flies.
Is that how dildos used to work back then?
Yeah,
batteries.
They certainly work in the West Midlands anyway. Very tiny, you know.
Spring
wind up.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, we did like pranks, but it was mostly on within our friendship circle, because I was always worried I'd get thumped by someone, because you had that hierarchy of the hardest in your class and then the hardest in your year. And I don't know about your school, but that was quite meticulous, where they had official rankings. So you'd get two tough kids and go, oh, he's the hardest in year 5. Oh, he's the hardest overall. He's the hardest in the school. Do you used to have that? So we had that so much we didn't want to rock anyone's boat, because I'm sure most of these tough kids were in the 20s, because they all were bearded and you know
wearing bras and
wearing half
suspenders.
a toilet seat as a necklace and stuff like that.
Still waiting for that Rocky Horror production to.
Yeah. I mean, so when that happened, they would. It was weird seeing these.
He's the hardest, and he's the most likely to to actually like dressing like that.
Yeah.
He quite enjoys it.
Yeah, they go, oh, miss, this feels actually really right. Can I wear this out?
Oi, this is delightful.
Yeah. Fucking love this. I didn't come from London, but it's better than the actual accent. But yeah, like, I do miss like standing in line at dinner queues and like people watching. Because there's this girl that looked a bit like, you remember Hunter from Gladiators? She had quite a sloping brow. So things like that, you know. I think some of the stuff you say was probably wouldn't fly now because we were younger and you know, we didn't bully anyone because we were too short.
But you can call them like you see them
back
then as well.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, did you get up to pranks and stuff?
Yeah, I mean there was quite a few. I mean my school was rife with it. Everything from printing out fake letters home. You know how like you get the slip with the cut off thing, and like teachers never fucking read them. So what someone would do cleverly is work out the exact right amount of photocopies to do. Get to the school exactly the point where the registers have been put in the pigeonholes, and then just very quickly pop like hundreds of these fucking things all in already kind of all pre-set out, and then the parents would be like, oh, how'd you get on to school today? Oh yeah, it's all right, thanks, Dad. I got this slip, because the kids read it, right? You know, because one kid reads it, there's always one, and then of course that spreads like Ebola. Look at this, look, we're going to a play about fannies. It's called Vagina Bandits, and it's at the Old Vic Theatre.
Nice.
And under Old Vic Theatre, it says boobies.
Nice.
Yeah, that wasn't me though. That was a good one. The best ones though were the really kind of out of the box. There were a couple of us that we took a picture of the minibus, school minibus, and put it in the Exchange and Mart. It was that kind of stuff that I really enjoyed, you know.
It's like the reverse Glee, isn't it?
But this is what I was thinking. I'm sitting there. I'm covered in water from the shower, and I can't touch the remote, Chris. And I'm just looking at this thing, going, "This is all backwards."
Yeah.
You know, where's the? I haven't once seen somebody talking and then somebody run up behind them and just smack them on the back of the head and then run off.
Yeah.
You know,
no one's putting chewing gum on each other's shoulders and saying it's bird shit. You know, I tell you, I remember one prank actually that the entire assembly did. It was so simple, and it still makes me laugh now when I think about it. Because, you know, like, they had a lot of, you know, they did the whole, like I said before, messages from the community and stuff, and then you start clapping, and it gets a bit boring, so you're just clapping, oh, there's a bake sale and stuff like that. Well, people just stopped clapping and started doing, like, one clap, like that. But the whole room started doing it, so it was like, and Jonathan has got 5 house points for doing swimming. And everything after everything, and the teacher, you could see him getting like really pissed off because we had visitors that day, and it was like, and what was it, this metal sort of like a mayor type. He was there, and he was like, and I think it's a wonderful school, so all give yourself a round of applause, all at the same time. And this teacher was going, I'm so sorry, I don't know what's going on here. Clap properly, damn it, clap properly. And then
that's not what you want to do, because that's just going to encourage everybody to keep on doing it.
No one really maybe one kid put that seed in motion, but everyone went along with it, even because it was like, I suppose, the Spartacus thing, like, you couldn't have one kid. So it was like, kids that you would think that would kind of, they used to call them the golden children and stuff. Yeah. They were doing it. It's like, this is fucking brilliant. Let's do this. Let's, like, it was brilliant. And I remember this teacher's face going so red, and after like it ended, he was just shouting his arse off, like going, "Oh, how dare you embarrass me!" And then one kid went, "Oh, it's so funny! Oh god, that was so good."
That's fantastic, man. That is fantastic. That's and you see, and that's kind of it, you know. As terrible and as harrowing an experience is, and I imagine this has to be true of basically everybody. I think those people that were completely content and satisfied in school are very strange, and definitely in the minority. Yeah. But what I will say is that certainly, it's those experiences that you'll never, cherish those experiences, Chris. You know.
Yeah.
When you come into school and there's a Stonehenge made out of lockers on the on the old basketball hoop area there. I say hoop because singular. That's the kind of thing you think, wow, yeah, somebody A, broke in to a government property, and B, covertly moved a shit ton of lockers and then arranged them nicely.
Oh, I miss those days, when you'd get into school, because we had a community centre. A community college was next door to us. And someone had wrote in 5-foot-high letters, white graffiti. Our head teacher was called Mr. Thompson. Massive letters. Tomo takes it, doggy. Massive letters. And it was just like... That was the same teacher that was struggling with the clapping incident. So it was a really rough time for that guy. Obviously...
I like the fact as well that is obviously a pupil, and B, his name's Mr. Thompson, and he's got to that point where it's Tom. Is there a P?
Yeah.
Is there a P? Oh, just put Tomo.
Tomo. It's like he's a mate. Like, he's probably one of his mates after a few drinks going, this chap, secretly gay. I'll write that down. His pupils will get a kick out of this. They reckon it was a former pupil that had just left that was coming back to pick up something. He thought, you know what? I'll leave my mark right here. And I'll write, Tomo takes it, doggy. And it took him ages to get rid of it as well. It was like a Cook past Babtridge type thing because they tried to change it. But it just didn't work. And it was before the gym, so everyone could see it going in.
Wow.
And people had the pictures taken. I mean, if cameras and YouTube was about then, how many pictures would you see of that?
I often think of that, One of my friends, this is slightly off topic, but one of my friend's brothers, they were building a road, the A120, which is a road that goes from Hertfordshire through to Essex. He snuck onto the yet to be ribbon cut and operational road and painted a big pair of scissors right down the dotted line in the middle. And that made the paper. And it's little things like that. Yeah, it's little things.
Little things.
It really is.
That's how you make your legacy, isn't it?
It is, because that guy's going to be remembered. I don't even know his name. I don't even know his name.
I'll never forget him.
I just know him as Nella's brother. There you go. The guy who painted that scissors on the road that one time. Yeah, man. Yeah. Good stuff. Well, that was... I've enjoyed this again, Chris.
Yes, brilliant. I think it's better than last time because I was less drunk. And,
I've been actively trying to drink, not only before, but also during this, just to make sure that I've got enough in me to be on my regular kind of speed.
I like caffeine, so that's kind of better for me, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You've been listening to a conversation with myself, C.J Hixon, and Mr. Christopher D Bate. The spirit animal for this show was a pasty, lovingly donated by Greg's the Bakers. Okay, ready?
Yeah, okay.
On 3.
This is going to be the thing, isn't it? Whole thing.
We could make 4 films where we have to defuse bombs.
Oh, that'd be brilliant. That'd be so good.
And everything we do is like on 3. So
it's called the clap.
And I'm getting too old for this shit. And you need to register yourself as some kind of weapon that's lethal. 1, 2, 3.
Is that on? No. Okay.
Alright, maybe I'll click like a jazz bow. Okay.
Alright.
On 3, literally 1, 2, 3. That's when you clap.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Okay, we'll deal with that. That's fine.
Is that good?
No.
It's...